So you're thinking about moving to Metro Detroit, but you want to live in a suburb. Well, in this video, we want to give you a list of our top 5 suburbs here in Metro Detroit so you can figure out which one is for you. Hello, welcome. My name is Matt Talbot. This is the Living in Detroit channel. On this channel, we talk about all things living in and moving to Michigan, Southeast Michigan, Metro Detroit, and the like. Like the intro said, in this video, we're going to talk about our top 5 picks of Detroit suburbs that are within 30 minutes of the city of Detroit, so you can see what suburb might be for you. We picked these suburbs for a couple different reasons, no particular order necessarily, but mostly focused on schools, walkability, parks, different stuff to do with the family, all that type of good stuff for these top 5 picks. We want to give you a rundown of these cities. If you know about our channel or if you follow our channel, good time to do a little shameless hook here. Subscribe and follow, of course. I don't do that much anymore. But if you follow our channel, you'll find that there's much more videos on these specific cities if you want to deep dive. So this video, we want to give you this top 5 pick. We want to talk a little bit about statistics, housing statistics, give you a quick rundown of these cities, show you some B-roll and stuff like that of what these cities look like so you can kind of see what city might be for you. For this list, we stuck to mostly Oakland and Wayne County, just like I said, top 5 to keep it nice and short, and we wanted to give some different flavors. So there's a ton of different cities, there's some different options outside of these, but these give you sort of sample sets of different cities, price points, and like I said, within about a 30-minute drive of the city of Detroit in Wayne and Oakland County, specifically here in Southeast Michigan. So to get us started at number 5 on our list to kickstart, and we have a few different videos on this channel, of course, of this town, and that is Birmingham, Michigan. So why it's great: upscale with high-end shopping, dining, and excellent schools. What it's for: ideal for families and professionals looking for luxury. Highlight: Birmingham's downtown area is known for its boutiques, cafes, and beautiful parks. Fun fact: Shane Park is a local favorite, hosting art fairs, live music, and seasonal events. Okay, so Birmingham is a really cool downtown area. It sits on the Woodward corridor. It's about 35 minutes or so from the city of Detroit, right down Woodward. So for those of you who don't know, Detroit is the capital of Wayne County, and Woodward goes right into downtown, right into the center of town, right to One Woodward, which is the actual city building downtown Detroit. You can take that all the way northwest, and you run into cities like Ferndale and Royal Oak, and eventually run into Birmingham about 35 minutes north down the Woodward corridor. There's other ways to get there, of course, down 75 and stuff like that. But Birmingham is a happening city. There's a lot of different parks, tons of different stuff happening every summer as far as art festivals and different types of food festivals, food and recreational activities throughout Birmingham. There's a lot of different restaurants in downtown Birmingham. There's an Imagine Theater. There's other theaters to go see shows. And again, because it sits in that Woodward corridor, which is in Oakland County, as far as housing statistics for Birmingham. So Birmingham is a more affluent area. It's one of the more pricey parts of town here in Metro Detroit as far as suburbs. So it's definitely one of the most more expensive areas here in Southeast Michigan, without a doubt. And again, you get a lot of bang for a buck in the city itself. There's a reason why it's expensive. But just to give you some housing statistics so you can kind of know price points to see if this might be a target area for you. The average price in Birmingham currently, as of late 2024, is $876,056. So just under $900,000 on average in Birmingham. Days on market is still moving really, really fast, even here in late 2024, 23 days on market. And there's just over 2 months of supply in Birmingham. So it's still a seller's market. Days on market still moving really, really fast in Birmingham. And again, that more affluent area at just under $900,000. And then price per square foot, which is what we always talk about in this channel to kind of give you an understanding of not only the price point, but kind of how expensive an area is based on, size of homes and stuff like that. So there's pretty good sized homes throughout Birmingham. There's also some really high-end luxury condos in downtown Birmingham as well. But the current price per square foot is $337 per square foot. So if you're looking for a more affluent community, you're looking for something, maybe a bigger house, you want downtown areas, you're looking for a little bit, nicer part of town with a lot of the features that those affluent areas have, Birmingham could be the city for you. And the price point for the housing statistics definitely represent that as well. Coming in at number 4 on our list is definitely just a completely different city from Birmingham in a lot of different ways, but we wanted to mention it because I think this is a great suburb for a lot lot of people that are thinking about moving here to Michigan, specifically Southeast Michigan, and they want a nice central location on the west side of Detroit, still driving distance about 20 minutes to the city of Detroit and about 35 minutes to Ann Arbor, in an affordable city in a lot of ways. And that city is Livonia, Michigan. Family friendly with excellent schools, parks, and shopping. Who it's for, ideal for families looking for safe and affordable communities. I mean, a lot of first-time buyers live here, and a lot of people choose to stay in Livonia for their entire lives. Livonia is a hot market, always will be a hot market. About 20 minutes west of the city of Detroit, right off of I-96, and about 35 minutes to Ann Arbor. Another reason why it's a great location is not only are you, 30 minutes or less to Detroit, and maybe just outside of 30 minutes to Ann Arbor, but you're less than 30 minutes to Detroit Metropolitan Airport as well. And this city is in Wayne County, opposite of Oakland County from Birmingham, and that city is Livonia, Michigan. So Livonia, Michigan, just to give you a lay of the land, like I said, just west of Detroit, and there's a lot of mid-century homes built in the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Some different pockets as well too. There's even current new construction in parts of Livonia, but it's been a very established city for a very, very long time. Actually, my grandfather was from Livonia, moved there in the 50s, way back in the day, and he lived back in the 30s, 40s, and 50s. A lot of people lived in Detroit, so when he moved to Livonia, his mom was like, wow, my great grandma's like, wow, that's way out in the country, in today's world, that's just like a 15-20 minute drive from the city of Detroit, right down 96, very easy to do. So there are a lot of different parks throughout Livonia. They have a great rec center, 5 Mile in Livonia as well too, and again, a lot of different homes, from new construction homes, we'll get into housing statistics in a minute. There's a lot of affordable homes as well too, and a lot of ranch property. So in the mid-century in Livonia, they built a ton of ranch homes, which is nice for a lot of different buyers. Perfect for a first-time buyer, sometimes small families, as well as more retirees that want to downsize and want everything on one floor. Those ranches can be a great option as well too. They've been a very popular product for the last few years. Fun fact, Livonia is home to Green Mead Historical Park, say that 10 times fast, showcasing Michigan's pioneer history. Again, a lot of old history in Livonia. There's the parks, there's the Livonia Spree where they do the fireworks every year. A lot of things happening in the city of Livonia, and it's a very, very established city for a long time. This is why it's kind of a different city from Birmingham. Birmingham's kind of like a downtown area, a lot of boutique shopping, all that stuff happening in a very, more expensive real estate market, just speaking frankly. Livonia doesn't necessarily have that like downtown area. It's more spread out. There's different pockets of roads where there's restaurants and shopping and stuff like that. And there's a lot of surrounding communities that I think you can go to as well. Like I said, it's only 20 minutes to go see a ball game in Detroit, and you can go over to 12 Oaks Ball, which is only 30 minutes from Livonia or 25 minutes from Livonia. So it's a central location to be able to hop around, but you don't really have that downtown-y area like you would in a Birmingham. But the housing statistics it's a much more affordable city overall. Average price point currently here in 2024, $327,000. So less than half of Birmingham. Condo prices are $225,000. Currently, there's a low inventory. Months of supply is 0.8, so less than a month of supply in Livonia, which makes it a very, very hot competitive market, as it has been historically and definitely over the last few years. Days on market is 16 days in Livonia, which is crazy low currently in 2024. So even at like 30 days on market or 21 days on market, I mean, that's a very fast-paced market. So we're like half of that at 16 days on market. I mean, that's unheard of. Like 2 weeks on market, that's all home. So that means the home that's been not renovated and it's been sitting there for 60 years untouched, completely dilapidated, like that's rolled into the ones that are completely updated and fixed up. And so 16 days on market is selling very, very fast. And there's a reason for that. It's a great affordable pocket of town at a $327,000 price point. Price per square foot, $223 for single family residence. So comparing that to Birmingham at $337, again, just a significantly different type of product in Livonia when it comes to homes compared to Birmingham, which is fine. So different strokes for different folks. We work very heavily in both areas, and we're able to help families in both parts of town. So up next at number 3 on our list actually sits mostly in Wayne County, but is partially in Oakland County as well too. Can you guess what city it is? If you can guess before we start the video, pause this video and comment below. What city is mostly in Wayne County, but then sits in Oakland County? And I'll just take your word that you did it before you saw the answer. City For those of you that are all about like the Michigan facts and always fact checking me and stuff like that, seriously, did you know what city it is? So up next on our list at number 3 on our list is Northville, Michigan. So we talk about Northville super heavy on this channel. It sits right on the border of Wayne and Oakland County. Most of Northville is in Wayne County. Interesting fact. Actually, like, growing up, I always thought it was Oakland County in my head, but so you have 8 Mile Road, and that separates that separates Wayne and Oakland County in a lot of different ways. And so Northville is kind of one of those cities that can be in different areas. Even parts of Northville Township can technically be like Northville School, Salem Township. It can be Wayne County, Oakland County. So once you get into Salem Township, that's where it gets very confusing. You can have Washtenaw County, Wayne County, Oakland County. You can have South Lyon schools, Northville schools. Anyway, not to confuse things, but Northville is one of those towns that sits right there. And this is I guess like a direct correlation on the west side. Not a direct correlation, but if you're looking west of Detroit, so Northville is a very central location because it's about halfway between Detroit and Ann Arbor, roughly, a little bit north, but about halfway. Northville is one of these really old towns as well too, and sort of a West Siders version of Birmingham. I think I'll get a lot of flack for that, but what I mean by that, it's another affluent city, more on the west side. So Birmingham's going to be north of the city of Detroit. Northville is going to be west of the city of Detroit. But again, another cool, cute downtown area and definitely an affluent city. So my dad's actually from Northville, and back in the day, it wasn't necessarily like that. It was like an old racetrack town, and there's a lot of farmland out there. Meadowbrook Country Club has been out there for a very long time. And through the years, the last 50 plus years, it's really evolved and become one of those super sought out areas. And we have tons of videos on Northville on this channel. It's one of the cities we work in the most, actually. So why it's great: charming, historic, and perfect for families. We mentioned families a lot. Like, I got to be a little bit careful with like discrimination. Like, we're not focused on just families, but this is a combination between our team putting this together and maybe like a little AI as an assistant of kind of why we're talking through these cities. But so Northville is great for a lot of different people. There's a variety of walks of life and a lot of different buyers in Northville, but it is good for families as well too. So if you have a family, it can definitely be a sought out area for you. Again, who it's for: great for those wanting small town charm with Detroit accessibility. I think that's important. I think also if you want access to Oakland County, Northville is a great city as well too. Highlight, known for its excellent schools and tight-knit community vibe. It does have this old school vibe. So on our channel, I think one of the things that we try the hardest to showcase when we go city by city, whether it's in studio here or on site, which we have a lot of those videos as well too, is really showcasing Southeast Michigan in that there are these little towns. You have the Northvilles and the Farmingtons and Plymouths and Birminghams and Royal Oaks and you go to Rochester. I mean, we're showcasing this spoke, right? It's like kind of like a wheel all throughout Southeast Michigan, and all these little towns have their own unique charm and features and stuff like that. And so really, if you're thinking about moving to Michigan and you're not from the area, figuring out like who you need to be close to, whether that's work, family, whatever, and why you're moving to town here, and then you can kind of help you give different target points of what areas might be good for you. But Northville is definitely one of those cities. Fun fact: hosts the Victorian Festival, celebrated Northville's 19th century roots with costume reenactments. And so Northville has a lot of different festivals downtown. In the summer, they close down the streets, which is one of these things that's a little polarizing in Northville. Some people say open the streets, some people say close the streets. But what the idea is they close down the streets in the summer, and it makes it more walkable. They do different shopping. Restaurants can kind of have overflow for their bars and their exterior seating and stuff like that as well too. So Northville's this cool old town. There's currently a huge development happening in downtown Northville. It was the old racetracks. They tore all that out, and there's like, I don't know, a couple hundred acres, I'm pretty sure. I have the statistics. I read through it the other day, of a lot of different developments. So tons of residential space going in there, tons of commercial space, a lot of things happening in Northville. And so to give you a little bit about the housing statistics, again, we're talking west of Detroit here, nice affluent city. Average price point $718,000 as an average. And when you roll single family only, we're again close to that $900,000 at $862,000 currently here in late 2024. There are a lot of condos throughout Northville as well too. Downtown has some newer luxury condos that they're building. Those like 800, 1.2 type type condos in downtown Northville. Those are sort of like, it's a new thing in Northville over the last few years. For a lot of years, downtown didn't really have much of that, but you're starting to see some of those development of those, townhouse type setups in Northville. Homes for sale still at the lowest inventory in 5 years. So it's crazy low inventory. Days on market is 22 days on market with 2.1 months of supply. So again, Livonia is like crazy low at less than a month, but even at 2 months for Birmingham and Northville here in 2024 is a very low months of supply. And again, on average, 3 days on market. So average price point for single family, close to 900,000 on average. And those are selling in 3 weeks. So it just shows you how it's still a very sought out area. And price per square foot at $273 per square foot. So kind of in between Birmingham and Livonia in a lot of different ways. Other features that Northville has, just off the top of my head, you have the downtown area, which we talk heavily about, but actually the west side of Northville is Mayberry State Park. So there's a big state park there. And downtown Northville, just outside of downtown, has Permenters, Cider Mill, and again, all the surrounding communities. So you head a little bit west, get out to the country a little bit, go to the parks, go to the state parks, a lot of golf courses, and you head east, you're in the city of Detroit in no time. It also sits on the 275 corridor, which takes you, back over to 696 if you want, and shoot over out east towards Troy or Rochester or the Woodward corridor, or you can go west and head over to like Brighton or continue on, to the city's capital in Lansing. So both Livonia sits on the 96 corridor and Northville sits on the 275 corridor. Very central location for west of the city if you're thinking about a west Detroit suburb. Okay, we're zigzagging through town. So this one's back in Oakland County. Again, I just think we're doing disservices if we're not talking about some of these cities. So this city is back in Oakland County, again in the Woodward corridor, a super sought out area. A lot of things happening, downtown area. And I'm sure a lot of you know that we're going to mention this if you follow Southeast Michigan real estate, and that city is Royal Oak. So Royal Oak is one of these happening cities. It's been like that for a lot of years now. Our list shows why it's great, lively and vibrant with a mix of nightlife and family-friendly activities. I think that's a great way to say it, right? There's nightlife happening in Royal Oak. So if you're looking for fun stuff, you like to go out all the time, you want clubs, you want comedy clubs, all that type of stuff is in Royal Oak. Who it's for young professionals and families who love an active lifestyle. I think, Royal Oak or any of these cities is really for anybody, but I think that's a good way to sort of describe it. Like a lot of young professionals there, a lot of people that want to, go out and do that type of stuff. Highlight Royal Oak's downtown has a variety of restaurants, bars, and entertainment. Of course, we have tons of lists. Again, this video is still going to be kind of long with me rambling a little bit about these areas. However, we have deep dives. We have tours of downtown Royal Oak. Like you can find that on our channel if you want to find it, as well as all these other towns. Fun fact, home to Detroit Zoo, one of Michigan's most popular attractions. Which is funny, Royal Oak is home to Detroit Zoo and is in Oakland County, and Detroit is in Wayne County. So Royal Oak's barely in Oakland County. It's just past Wayne County. Sits right at 696 in Woodward corridor, just past that, and it's also off 75. So the reason why the Woodward corridor, I think, is so popular is because there's a lot of houses, a lot of little towns there for, really since the early 1900s. But also you got 75 right there, which takes you north and south. 696, it's easy to get in and out of town. So if you work in the surrounding communities, if you work at the hospitals, if you work in different areas, Woodward corridor is very sought out for north of the city of Detroit, which is just tons of families. I mean, there's millions of people in the general Woodward corridor and surrounding areas north of Detroit there. So one of the reasons why we focused so heavily on Royal Oak through the years is because there is a lot of people moving in and out of Royal Oak and throughout Royal Oak and some of the Woodward corridor. I've enjoyed working in that area. There has been a lot of young professionals we work with through the years, but also families. We helped someone build a home recently in Royal Oak and place people into their more permanent residence as well, their forever home, so to speak, in Royal Oak as well too. So although a lot of young professionals, a lot of starter homes, there's also bigger new construction and stuff like that for your family if you want to focus on that part of town. Average sale price is sort of like a mixture of like all these different worlds. Average sale price is $383,774. Single family homes is $400,000. So again, this is a different flavor. We talked about Birmingham, we talked about Livonia, different flavor. We talked about Northville, completely different flavor, and Royal Oak is completely different as well too. So I'm trying to give you a variety pack of these cities, and I think that's what we're doing in this video. But again, average price point $383,000. So you can find a nice starter home in Royal Oak for $325,000, and you can also find a new construction large home in Royal Oak for 1.2 million. Just there's really a lot of different options in Royal Oak and definitely throughout the Woodward corridor. In Royal Oak, days on market, again, still very aggressive. We're obviously highlighting our top favorite picks, so these are going to be some of the more aggressive markets, but 21 days on market with a month and a half of supply in Royal Oak. So again, it's very sought out, a lot of moving pieces, a fast-paced market for sure in Royal Oak, and will continue to be so. And price per square foot is $274 per square foot. Okay, drum roll, please. Last but not least, number 1 on our list. So there's really no particular order. We just kind of pick these cities because I think it is sort of a variety of pack of sample sets of what you get in Detroit suburbs here in Southeast Michigan. So there's just kind of like, hey, these are the 5 that pop in my head that give you some different options. There's a host of other cities. We focus a lot on this channel of those other cities as well too, but I think this is a good sample set. So the goal of this video is if you're moving to the area, definitely if you're moving the next like 6 to 12 months or inside of 6 months, like comment below or fill out our Calendly link, which is basically a direct link for a calendar invite for me on our channel, and let us talk today. We're absolute rock star real estate brokerage here. I try not to like do these shameless plugs as much as I used to, but seriously guys, like we have 5-star reviews, hundreds of them across the board. We're gonna do a great job for you, my team, my agents, myself, and we work directly with you. We're gonna knock it out of the park, I promise. Check out our reviews on Google, what have you. Redefine real estate. We place a lot of people from this channel that are moving to town here. So that's the goal of this video. If you're moving to town, you give like 5 different cities that are kind of sample sets of Metro Detroit cities if you're not familiar, or if you want to just learn a little bit more. And number 1 on our list, I think, again, different from the other 4 we already talked about, and that is my hometown where I originally grew up, and that's going to be Plymouth, Michigan. I think Plymouth is an awesome city and sort of like the best of all worlds in a lot of different ways, but again, completely different from all the other cities. It is close to Northville. It's just south of Northville, so I guess it's like the closest to proximity, fairly close to Livonia as well too, but outside of Oakland County compared to Royal Oak and Birmingham, and that's going to be in Wayne County. Why it's great, downtown area, beautiful parks and great community vibes. So in the center of town is Kellogg Park. There's a million different festivals and art things and all sorts of things happening all year round, and that's one of the reasons why people love Plymouth. You have a downtown area, and then a lot of things happening in the downtown area, and then the township surrounds it sort of in all directions, okay? So everything kind of leads there, and a lot of the surrounding communities like Livonia we already talked about, or if you go over to Canton, or if you go over to Westland, some of the different surrounding communities, a lot of people come to Plymouth to hang out because there's a lot of things happening in downtown Plymouth, which is why it's a very sought out area. If you're looking for a close-knit feel, that's what it's perfect for. Families, again, a variety of people. It's just really, if you want walking distance, you can be in the city. If you want township, but also have the cute little downtown area to drive to, you can be in the township. A lot of things happening. Our highlight, downtown Plymouth walkable, boutique shops and coffee spots. I mean, there's unlimited bars, restaurants, coffee spots, shopping, all that type of stuff in a city like Plymouth, as well as some of the surrounding downtown areas here in Southeast Michigan. Fun fact, hosts the annual Ice Festival, one of the largest sculpting events in North America. So they do a fall festival, they do art in the park, they do the Ice Festival is sort of like a unique one. So it's like in the middle of the winter, it's always like freezing cold. There's actually a video on this channel. Mike, you remember that one? I was literally, my nose is like, I look like Rudolph. I was like, it was like the coldest year. That's like, it's kind of been hit or miss last few years. It's been like warm and all the ice melts, or it's been like freezing. And that was like the freezing year. And it was literally like 10 degrees out. I think I had long johns on. It was still freezing. Anyway, Ice Festival is a cool one. They do ice sculptures. So they get the chainsaws, they make different ice sculptures. It's a fun one for the family and kids and for anyone to go check out. Kind of a well-known thing that's been happening for a long time in Plymouth. So housing statistics. So this is, again, just a different flavor, different price point altogether compared to the other 4 that we talked about, which is why I wanted to break down some different stuff here. But average price in Plymouth for single family residential is $505, and condos is $318,000. Days on market, very, very aggressive, close to Livonia. Days on market is 19 days on market with 1.2 months of supply. So again, hot market, guys. Like a lot of people, it's funny, like actually my buddy called me the other day. He's been in Chicago for a few years and he's thinking about moving back to Michigan. And he's like, hey, can you get me set up on a search? And it's a pretty aggressive search, like $1 million price point. And he kind of like got the first list and he's like, wow, like I thought I was gonna get way more house compared to Illinois. In Michigan, I'm like, yeah, man, it's still like a hot market. However, that being said, there is a low inventory. So if you look at any given moment in Michigan of like the houses in your price point, you're probably not gonna see much because the nice ones go so fast and they go pending. So you don't even see them on Zillow or in the different websites websites and stuff like that. So what you need, if you are thinking about moving to the area, even if you're like 6 months out, a year out, 2 years out, you want to be set up with an agent that not only gets you on the auto email stuff and the Zillow stuff, but also is sending you different flavors on market, off market, and actively looking for you. So if you don't look every single day, you're going to miss a lot of listings here in Michigan because things move so fast. And so that's like a pro tip. Find yourself a good agent at Redefine Real Estate, and we'll get you set up on auto emails. We'll also keep you in the loop with the different cities and target points that you're looking for: Detroit, Ann Arbor, Metro Detroit, whatever it is. We can hook you up there. So housing statistics, 505, I already mentioned all this stuff. Days on market, 19 days, months supplies, 1.2, we just talked about. And last but not least is price per square foot at $228 per square foot. So a lot of different flavors in Plymouth Township. There's some golf courses. You can head your 20 minutes to Ann Arbor, 25 minutes to Ann Arbor, your 25 minutes to the city of Detroit, exactly halfway between Ann Arbor and Detroit on the west side. And that's one of the reasons why we place so many people in Plymouth, Northville, sometimes Livonia as well too, is because it's so central, right? A lot of times, like, one partner might work in Ann Arbor, the other partner works downtown. One partner might work at Ford Motor Company in Dearborn, the other partner might work wherever in Rochester. I mean, that's a little bit of a hike, but it's a central location. It's easy expressway access between M14, 275, 96, all that good stuff in Plymouth, which is why it's such a sought out area. So thank you for listening to me ramble on this video. Hopefully it gives you an insight. We're going to have some B-roll popping up, or we had some B-roll popping up, I should say, on this video, and gives you some flavors of these 5 suburbs. If you want to deep dive, check out our channel, hit next, go to Living in Detroit. We have like hundreds of videos at this point that really showcases Southeast Michigan, I think, to the best of our abilities. They're not perfect. We're continuing to improve and make them better and more fun, and we get a lot of feedback. So thank you so much for checking out our videos and continue to do so. And I promise I'll try to make them better and better as we go here. My name is Matt Talbot. This is Living in Detroit channel. I am the broker owner of Redefined Real Estate.